Hi, my name is Abdul Asel, and I know a big part of the process when you're purchasing a vehicle is you're going to be offered an extended service contract. Now, some of you might have had a terrible experience in the past where you paid thousands upon thousands of dollars and it did not cover a thing or did not cover what you thought it should cover. And some of you might have had a good experience, but here's the thing. Cars will break down. Whether I like it, you like it, nobody likes it, okay? So that said, when the car breaks down, you have two options. Option number one, if the car is under factory warranty, you're going to take it there and they're going to do the repair at no cost to you. Option number two, if the car is out of factory warranty, then obviously there's going to be a cost associated with that repair. Now, what's going to happen here is if the car does not have any coverage, let's say the transmission goes out, or maybe the AC compressor goes out, the radiator goes out. Now, those are all items that will eventually go out. The average cost on any of the items that I just simply mentioned are anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. Depends on what kind of car and how new it is. Now, can you get it cheaper somewhere else? You can maybe potentially do it yourself. Possibly. I don't know. I mean, unless you own an AC machine, you probably won't be able to do the AC compressor, so it's not going to be an inexpensive repair. So what's the whole hassle about why should I buy a warranty or why should I not? Well, I'm going to break it out really simple. It is ultimately an insurance policy, is all it is. So you are taking a risk as a customer by buying an extended service contract. The risk is you might be spending $2,500, $3,500, $5,000, sometimes on really expensive high-end cars like, 911s and whatnot. It can be north of $10,000. So you're basically taking a gamble. The gamble is the car is going to break down and that warranty is going to cover the repair. That's one side of the gamble. That's the good gamble. The bad gamble is you bought the most perfectly built car in the world, and that car will never break down. And you just simply wasted all that money in anticipation that something is going to go wrong. Well, let's go over some numbers. Most of the warranty companies are designed to pay 95% of the premium, okay? So what that means is, on average, if let's say you spent $3,000 on a warranty, that warranty company is anticipating they will at least pay $2,700 in repairs. Now, with the cost of labor right now, put the parts aside, just with the cost of labor, it doesn't take a whole lot to get there. So I'll give you an example. Most independent shops are running between $125 an hour to $145 an hour. Most dealerships, let's say BMW, Audi, even Honda, the low end is $165 or $175, and Mercedes at some, and this is in our market. I'm not talking about San Francisco or LA. I'm just simply talking about the Portland market. I believe Mercedes Wilsonville is like between $225 and $275. So to give you an idea, if let's say an AC compressor takes 5 hours, and let's say an alternator takes 5 hours, that's about 10 hours in labor. Well, that's $2,700 just in labor. Now, figure the AC compressor is about $700, $800, plus the alternator is similar cost. So while the part itself might cost $500 or $700, the labor to do it is going to cost 3 to 4 times what the part costed. Now, back in the day, it was not as big of a deal because you did not need to program everything. Now, you put a battery in a car and you need to program it. So unless you have a fairly expensive two-way communication scan tool, which they run anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. Again, I'm not saying you can't get them cheaper than that. You can, so don't get mad at me. I mean, you can probably buy something as cheap as $500 or $600. I just don't know how many makes, and obviously you have to renew the license and all that stuff. So there's always the thought of, I can do it myself, and you certainly can. And there's the other thought is, you know what, I don't want to mess with it. I just want to buy the car. I want that payment to be inclusive of all the expenses. Now, when the warranty is included in your loan, you get the good interest rate that's covering the car. Now, I understand right now, in this particular moment in time, interest rates are not the greatest, especially with the feds. They keep increasing the rates, but it's still a lot cheaper than you having to do an emergency repair and put that repair on your credit card. Because most credit cards, outside of your 0% introductory period, which usually will last 6 months to 12 months, it jumps to 19.99 to 24.99. That's a lot of interest, 25%. So now, let's say you have to put an emergency repair on $1,000 or $2,000 on a credit card. Well, just to kind of give you an idea, if it's a $2,000 repair, you put on your credit card at 25% interest rate, that repair just became a $2,500 repair. So versus, let's say an interest rate on the loan was like 6 or 7 or 8%. Obviously that's now, it used to be a lot lower. So from that perspective, it's still better. So it's a toss-up. I mean, as far as like, should you get it, should you not? I can understand the conflict on how you feel about it. But numbers don't lie, and statistically speaking, those companies will pay 90%. Now, are all the companies the same? The answer is no. Okay, there are some really bad companies out there that they have some really fine print that nobody ever reads that tells you, you have to do your oil change at that place, you have to maintain this car according to the maintenance schedule from the manufacturer, you can't use this car for Uber Eats, you can't use this car for getting too many groceries from Costco, I don't know. But that doesn't matter what it is. What matters is this. If you are going to spend the money to buy a warranty, just make sure it's a good company. Now, there are fantastic companies out there. Okay? Now, I can't recommend a company that I'm not using. But here's also my next piece of advice. Don't buy a warranty from a third-party source that you did not purchase the car from. Okay? Because I personally get marketed to, I don't know, I mean, thankfully they've lost my number. I clicked block sender, block the caller enough times. But you're going to be getting a ton of mail and a ton of phone calls from companies that you've not done business with in the past. How do they get your information? Well, they get your information from the DMV records. That's just how they get your information. And they know that you bought a car because they have your information. So here it goes. So they're going to continue to market to you. They're going to get on the phone, and they're going to be fantastic on the phone. They're going to tell you everything you need to hear. This car is bumper to bumper. Bumpers are never covered, just so you know. So they'll tell you everything you need to hear. And then what's going to happen is you have a question about the warranty after you already gave them your credit card. You're going to try to call and get a question, or maybe even better, try to cancel it because you're going to be trading in the car, or maybe the car got in an accident and it's a total loss, whatever it might be. What's going to happen is this. You're not going to be able to get a hold of them. So that's really the disadvantage. At the time, it sounded like a really good idea, but when it's time for you to actually get the application and get what you paid for, so I do not recommend them. If you are going to buy a warranty, I strongly suggest you buy it from a dealer. Why? Well, number one, if the dealer doesn't answer the phone because they're so busy for whatever reason, what's your next course of action? You drive there and you talk to someone, and you usually, 99% of the time, you can get your problem resolved over the phone. But if the phone is not doing it, the email is not doing it, you just simply go to the dealer and somebody will physically talk to you and get the problem resolved. Okay? Also, the dealer does a lot of business with the particular company that they're using. So sometimes they can override a certain decision. Like, let's say in the fine print, for some reason, that window switch was not supposed to be covered. Well, they have a relationship with the warranty company, and they have a relationship with you, and they can get you taken care of. So maybe a repair that might have not been covered on paper gets covered because of your relationship with the dealer and the dealer's relationship with the warranty company. Because at the end of the day, we want you to be happy. So that said, I'm not trying to tell you do one way or the other. All I can tell you is this. A car will break down, and you would never buy a new car without a warranty. So why would you buy a used car without a warranty? And I would not personally sell you something that I did not know that it will for fact take care of you when the car breaks down. So that's not also mentioning, covering some rental coverage, some roadside assistance, some lodging. So there's just a lot more than meets the eye. And like I said, just if you choose not to buy one, I respect that decision. Just obviously make sure that you're prepared to spend not a small amount of money if something were to go wrong. And if you do want to spend the money to get the protection, please make sure you buy it from a dealer, not from a third-party company. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, always please feel free to visit our website or give us a call. Thank you so much.